Yo YouTube, CC here with the first weekly recap of the A pool of the LLL, the Ubers UU draft league that has been going on for a week now. Well, in actuality, it's like week 3 now, but I'm giving myself something to upload. We'll be looking at the 5 matches that have been played, and of course the 6th match, which is the juicy one, the big one, the deep dive, which is going to be played at the end. And after all, we are gonna wrap everything up and look at what happened overall in the week. Yeah, okay, let's just dive in with the first the first announcement I have to make. We had to sub a player. Alice was fortunately able to sub and has to use the old draft for 2 weeks, and then they get a chance to redo everything. But Alice is facing off against PTK. I'm doing it again. I'm wrong again. But yeah, this was just such a dominant performance of PTK. Jesus, with that amazing wall breaker in the form of Armor Rouge, the Endure Tech. Okay, it is somewhat well known, but it's how it was implemented in this match, breaking down those walls that won't chain, etc. early game, so that Iron Crown can clean up late game. That was some excellent use there, and it ended up as a 3-0 for PTK. Yeah, I said the name right. Great. So 2 times Flying had to face off against Asbab, and well, let's just say that it was a tough matchup, I have to say, but after Gouging Fire chipped the Flying a bit, that Zamazenta went in late game. Holy crap, it picked up 4 kills, really did a number on Flying's team. You know, sometimes it be like that, you know, sometimes you just get forced in the corner. Again, you can't catch that CC, you're just gonna have to swallow the pill that this ain't gonna be it. Could have been, I don't know, how could you work this around this for that, because it really matched up excellently against Flying. Perhaps Shell Smash Torterra early game, but you know, it's hard to play around that, and Asbab with a very dominant performance with that Zamazenta. Oh, it's 2-0 by the way. Talk about a rough matchup. Creator of Some facing off against Delta, and I gotta say, I already thought that Delta had a rough matchup going in, but yeah, it's about trying to work around it, and sometimes you just can't work around it, because that Tusk was played excellently. Lugia was really well implemented this game as well. Some overall strong performances of the Mons on Creator of Some's side of the field. Urshifu, the big hitter, of course, with that rough matchup. It has some better matchups later in the season, but damn, it was a rough one, and unfortunately Delta has to take the 4-0 defeat, and Creator of Some, of course, coming up on top. Oh, by the way, an Emerus used Fly. Holy shit, that's full Corona tech, you know. And Nebula just led off versus Volt Ninja, and that, man, week 1, turn 1 with the kill already. That was a rough beginning for Volt Ninja, of course, but Nebula kept her momentum really well in this match. Early with the Comfey and of course the kill on Greninja, like I said. It was a very dominant performance, and I feel like Volt Ninja has to kind of still get you know, have to get a feeling in the league. But Nebula was a very rough matchup for the week 1, but it was an entertaining week nonetheless. And I don't think it mattered, you know, like in the video I said, oh, Gligar is not the best ground type, but like in this matchup it didn't even matter. While I thought like having a dominant ground type would have been better, but you know, she proved me wrong. It was a dominant performance, and it was a very cool 2-0 victory. And then the match that almost made it to match of the week, in my opinion, was a super fun match. The 2-0 victory of Excalibur with that excellently played Dusclops, you know, chipping down that team with rocks, and the Ogre Pawn threatening it a lot. Dusclops with the rain versus the sun was a very cool matchup. But seeing Dusclops get 4 kills in this match is insane. That's insane, bro. It was a very well played match on Excalibur's side, and yeah. Oh yeah, the flame charge Chi-Yu. It didn't work out, but it was so funny. But yeah, great match. Excellently played Dusclops, even though I just butchered Dusclops in the beginning and like in the draft video. Holy crap, it proved me wrong. Perhaps, you know, perhaps it can do more than I expected it to. So, very cool and dominant 2-0 win. But now we go to the big juicy game of the week. Whoop-a-bo! It's Random Creep versus Leo Justice. And let me tell you, this match had everything. Bro, this match has everything. But, you know, I gotta pretend I didn't watch the match already. So, oh yeah, what a cool matchup. Let's talk about that matchup. On Leo's side, we have Magearna, Palkia, Lando T, Grafaiai, Mendabus, Ursaluna Blood Moon, I believe, Breloom, Swatloon, Magneton, Evire, and Ju Gong 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 versus Random Creep with that Dialga O, Rillaboom, Heatran, Raging Bolt, Urshifa Single Strike, Gastro, Mesprit, Enamorous T, Komala, and Altaria. Yeah, right off the bat. Damn. Do you see the Palkia matchup versus Random Creep? That's some heat, man. I believe that a mixed Palkia can actually just take out everything except Gastro. I don't think it gets Grass Knot, but there are, well, there is a Breloom there. There's a Magneton that can also pressure it. I believe Gastro has to run Spadef, so perhaps you can pressure it with an offensive Lando, stuff like that. But I do believe that a Gastro is key on withholding, holding back that Palkia, I believe. But Palkia has such a good matchup. I want to put my emphasis on that. And yeah, I think Breloom, like I said, is also a very cool matchup. Magearna can also pressure Gastro, of course. So I'm gonna predict Palkia, Magearna, Lando, Breloom. Those are some key mons there. Perhaps a Grafaiai for momentum, I feel like. Don't think that Ursaluna Blood Moon has the best matchup, but we'll see. And on Random Creep side, yeah, I do believe it's a pretty tough matchup. Like I said, that Palkia is so important, so Gastro has to come. Perhaps another bulky mon, just a bulky general mon like an Ambrose T can do some work here. Keeping off hazards, perhaps, you know, like I said in the draft, it's hard for Random Creep. So maybe like an Altaria, I don't know. Raging Bolt could also do some work here, but an interesting matchup. I ever so slightly favor Leo Justice, but it's a very close matchup, and I'm really looking forward to the match itself. Oh, Impossible predicts on like Terra, so like maybe Terra Fairy on Gastro, I don't know. But let's just dive into the match itself. Without further ado, let's go. So we got that Mesprit leading off, tricking that Magearna, and damn, that's already a big hit, because Magearna is something that is very variable in this matchup. Like we see that Raging Bull, and you don't want to have the pressure on Lando itself. But this turn is a big turn, because that freeze on Magearna, holy crap. Worst case scenario, Magearna not doing anything further this match, right? And an MRST is harder to break. That's one thing. You get a little bit more pressure on Lando just holding back the Raging Bolt. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. It's a very tough freeze, and hopefully they thaw out immediately, because otherwise you have a big issue on your hand. In this case, it doesn't unthaw right away, but it does now. So did Random Creep, in my opinion, take the fullest well, the fullest opportunity out of it. Not exactly, but it's whatever. We don't see a freeze right here. It would have been horrible if it did. It's a Terra ground Magneton, which is very interesting. I don't know exactly why. Perhaps for that Heatran, because I do like the Terra ground into Heatran. But at the same time, I feel like your matchup versus, for example, a Rillaboom or a Gastro gets a little bit worse, but yeah, you're not gonna rely on it taking down a Gastro. But I thought it was a quite interesting Terra right there. We don't see a Thaw or don't see a Freeze. I'm sorry. Imagine just Mesprit freezing all game. But we see that Magearna being able to recover a little bit. Mesprit is on the losing end of the stick, and that's fine. But now, big old Gastro is coming in. Big old Gastro is coming in, and switch is out for now. But perhaps we'll see the return. But this is a major Moonblast, because I don't really feel like Manabus is the best matchup right now. It doesn't do that much because the thing that it pressured the most is probably that Mesprit, which is almost dead. But it would have been amazing to get a Toxic onto Gastro, because, for example, if Gastro is Terra Poison, you could have gotten the poison off of it beforehand. But it chipping down in Empress is important too. But 95% is such a big hit, man. Such a big hit. We do see Magearna coming in again. And, it really sucks that Magearna doesn't have the leftovers anymore, because, yeah, it can recover with Draining Kiss, but it would have loved that residual recovery in the turns, that go in between, of course. Gastro threatened now by the Breloom. Do we see a Spore coming out? An SD. We see an SD, which is very threatening, but at the same time, yikes. That's a Draco. So either Breloom isn't fast, or Raging Bull has a lot of speed investment, which I could see. I really could see, because it does outspeed an offensive Magearna, for example. You have to speed creep the Mandibuzz, I feel like, and it does outspeed the Magneton as well if you want to. So I do feel like it's not that odd to see it, but it's still at the same time it doesn't feel right. But I don't know if the other one is slow or the other one is fast. I don't know. We do see a Nemeris switching in on that Lando. Lando perhaps threatening with a Stone Edge or a Rock type move with a Smackdown. Damn, that's a dead Nemeris. And I do feel like it's very important for that Palkia, because now the Gastrodon is the only thing that really standing in his path. Heatran's balloon gets popped, of course, which is sad times. Snow balloons. Magneton, yeah, that's a dead Magneton. Like, okay, I do agree that Magnet Pull on the Heatran with a Terra Ground, that would have been cool, but it's hard to pinpoint Heatran on the exact turn. Unfortunately, we see a Stomping Tantrum on the Lando, probably because of grassy terrain. Yeah, no Rilla, so actually dead. Now comes in Palkia, and I feel like there's only one Mon that can stop that motherfucker. That's big old Gastro. And let me tell you guys, this goes on forever. This goes on forever, because Palkia cannot really break Gastro, while on the other hand, Gastro cannot really break Palkia's sub. That's the hard part. Amnesia as well, so that's really tough for Palkia. So we're just gonna skip along, because trust me, you don't want to be here all day, because they were here all day, it feels like. But it's such an excellent display as well, like Gastro, a lower tiered Mon, that can still do so much work in a matchup like this. Because Palkia would otherwise just sweep, bro. Palkia was such a good Mon. And I do feel like sub Palkia is a really good bring. But imagine this Gastro being, for example, toxic by the Mandy, or just brought down to his knees beforehand. Palkia could have done so much more here. But this is the big turn. It's the freeze. It's the freeze. I feel like an Earth Power, unfortunately, which it didn't have, Surf would have done 6. But you know, you would have still kept it out of sub-range because of the leftovers. But now, this is the breakthrough. It's a game that has a lot of freezes in it, like 2, which is pretty big because no one ever freezes. But in this game, we freeze twice. That's insane, bro. That's wild. So, yeah, momentum shifts, of course. The stalemate is broken because of the freeze. And now Leo is just regaining momentum up until the burn, though. Bringing Stomping was such a good thing, such a good bring because of the Rilla. But now you get punished for it, which is insane. Just insane, man. That's some serious hacks right here. But you know, that's the game we play. You know, that's the game we play. Lando not able to pressure the Urshifu anymore because of the burn. Urshifu just chipping down the Magearna not being able to tank a lot of hits. But still Scarf. Yeah, you tricked Scarf on it as well. So that's the reason why Urshifu switched out there. Gastro just suffering, bro. Suffering. See that slug. Yeah, that's a shame, bro. That's a shame. Gastro not thawing it's such a crime. But yeah, that's the game we play. You know, Freeze is super toxic, but you can force it. I'm so glad Freeze isn't a status thing, like a status move that you can spread, because yeah, that's just a shite. But with Gastro gone, yeah, the Palkia can do so much work now. So it's gonna be a game of outplaying each other with the limited mons that you have. Both teams are chipped down. It's a really tough game. And in this instance, Thunderbolt on a Magearna not going for the Thunderclap, now going for the Thunderclap. We know it's not a locked-in move, so it's not a Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. So it predicting Palkia to switch out there is so big. That's so big. Now Leno comes in, and I feel like you have to switch, but they decide not to. They Draco. They know that, okay, I can switch out later. I can keep that special attack drop. It doesn't matter. And this is the biggest mind game. Holy crap! Thunderclap on a sub. Do you go for it again? That's the question. Do you go for sub again? Do you really want to? And I don't. That's a big one. That's a big one. But yeah, it doesn't matter, I feel like, because Urshifu should be faster with the Sucker Punch. That's so insane, because if they went for sub there, if they went for sub on turn 56 to outplay it, you know, the sub mind games once again, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. This game, it was so hyped just because of the Thunderclap and Sucker Punch mind game at the end. Holy crap. I was on the edge of my seat, bros. I was on the edge of my seat. It was such a good end game. It was such a fun game to watch as well. Even with the stally bit between Palkia and Gastro. Even with those freezes and a burn. The hacks were insane, bro. Even though there were like 3 hex moments, they were so pivotal in this match. Which is insane. Yeah, this had me at the edge of my seat. Such a good game from both guys. It was an amazing game to watch, and I do feel like this is one of those matches that is gonna just last for the entire league. I'm gonna know about this match in like week 7, and still remember this hacks on this match. It's insane. But yeah, with that out of the way, I'm going to move along to the next subject on the video, which is the power ranking thingy. The standings, I believe. Damn. The standings, yeah. I'm going over the standings for now. Yeah, it's still week 1, you know, so it's kind of shite. Creator Sum, PTK, still doing that wrong. Excalibur, Nebula, Asbab, Random Creep, Leo Justice, and Fishy are in the playoffs for now. Yeah, Fishy in the playoffs, even though they lost. It's funny as hell. Same with Leo. 2 times Flying, Volt Ninja, Alice, and Delta are not in playoffs. But, you know, once again, it's the first week. It's not really that big of a deal, but you know, it is there. So take it or leave it. The Mon of the week. I'm just gonna put my spotlight on one Mon that I feel like really showed up this week. Did so good, and yeah, I think you guys know. It's the Dust Gloves, bro. Dust Gloves this week was insane. I've never seen a Dust Glove do this much in a season, let alone one game. This was the perfect Dust Glove game. Yeah, I just wanted to highlight that once again. So, Game of the Week goes to Random Creep versus Leo, and Mon of the Week goes to Dust Gloves because Dust Glove was insane. But that was all. That's all I gotta discuss for now. And hope to see you guys in a next week or a next video, whatever. Yeah, have a good day. Peace.